This conference will now be recorded.
Hey guys, good morning everyone. So anyone has any questions, please let me know. So today I think little important. From today I think I'll go. I think I know secret manager demo is pending. Secret manager demo is pending. I need to go and create one server as well as Route 53 demo is pending. All these things I'll cover up. Don't need to worry. Route 53 I ordered our owner to buy a domain. So let's wait for it. I'll provide a demo on maybe on Saturday or somewhere else like that. Saturday you'll have 2 hours of class. I will ask 8 a.m. class to stop. Then I'll go for 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock or 9:30 for you guys. Today, the most important topic which I would like to go for it is Docker containerization. Okay. So I'll wait for some people to join. One of the most important topic in 2022-23. You need this knowledge at any cost. For this one, you need to be expert in Linux. You need to be expert in Linux. Keep it in your mind. So once you are very good in Linux operating system, because Docker containers, all these things actually initiated, the projects initiated in Linux operating system. They initiated in Linux operating system. They worked in Linux operating system. Steve Ballmer, stupid idiot, CEO of Microsoft company, ignored Docker in 2000, okay, 10 to 2016, 2015. Okay, Steve Ballmer is the richest person in the world in terms of top 10 richest person in the world. He, after Bill Gates, he is the CEO of Microsoft, Steve Ballmer. Then Satya Nadella came into picture. But he is the person, so Docker was asking, sir, you can come and there will be a good change in the programming that this. He said like, hey, we are great man, what are you? We are Microsoft, you are small company. So it was too late. Docker came in operating system of Linux operating system, dominated the entire world. Almost all the world are moving to Docker. Then Steve Ballmer was resigned. Satya came into picture. Satya went into Docker and said, sorry, we would like to integrate it. It was too late. That happened in 2016, 6 years late. Then even now also, if you see Windows Docker containerization were not very great coupled in Windows operating system. Everything is well coupled in Linux operating system. Okay, that is the reason why I ask everyone to be expert in Linux. I will go and create Linux videos, Kubernetes videos in my YouTube. I have something for you, not for you. Normally, youtube.com, I stopped doing videos from past 1.5 year. No time for me. But something which is very important, I would like to move it. Especially, how do you configure a cron job, Linux operating system full end to end. I'll go for Linux operating system, as well as I would like to go for Kubernetes. Like if you want to, the online people say like, sir, I've written Kubernetes, but somewhere I want to practice, something is missing. I will try my best to go and install, configure everything in Kubernetes. Is it clear, guys? Anyone has any questions? Today it is going to be one of the most important topic in your life. I'm telling you, if you don't have this knowledge, and wherever it go, so it looks to be very funny, and the word which I'm using is absolutely correct. It looks very, seems to be funny. Even I went for this training, Microsoft has sent me to IIT Chennai for Kubernetes training. They forced me, "Hey, you can go learn it and everything." I just subscribed. I myself train Kubernetes. I went into Kubernetes training. I went into my topmost trainers in India, whoever trains, right? There is a group. They added me in topmost trainers in India, one group, WhatsApp group in that one. What I observed from that, basically, one step is correct in generally. Kubernetes, 15 percentage samples we will give. 85 percentage you need to do. AWS is at least 50-50. We explain, created in front of you everything, then you will do it. Kubernetes is like we will explain 10 to 15 percentage or 20 percentage. 80 percentage you need to do it. You need to learn it. You need to invest it. You need to move away from that mindset of I'm engineering fourth year. Give me important paper. Can you give me interview questions? No. Is it clear, right? So keep it in your mind so that whatever I'm explaining, I will try to explain it, and it is your duty to do it. Everything in Kubernetes is command line, and like a cloud formation template you are writing, right? Like that one, you have IAC, infrastructure as code in Kubernetes. Is it clear? So now I would like to explain you what is a container, what is the difference, which I already explained you. We will create it and then we'll move into picture. Any questions anyone has? Anyone has any questions, please let me know. One of the most important class in 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, more 5 to 6 years you will be learning these things. Kubernetes, Dockers and all these things will be dominating the world. Currently they are dominating the world. We'll talk about what are those things from today. So I think the next 4 or 5 days will be total Kubernetes only. Installation, creation, that, these and everything. Anyone has any questions, please let me know. Anyone has any questions, please let me know.
No, we are good.
Fine. So let's take an example. First thing I would like to go specify why Docker or why container. So what did I explain you? Can anyone tell me what is the difference between a virtual machine and a container? What is the difference between a virtual machine and a container? So I will buy a purchase a physical server. This is my big physical server. This physical server RAM is how much, sir? How much? How many CPU cores? Maybe how much? 512 CPU cores. Is it a big system? So then you will go and install what is that? Operating system in the physical system. And you remember, you will install virtualization software, VMware, vSphere, virtualization software you will install. And then now you will go and create here, what is that one? This is virtual machine, like EC2 instance, server number 1. This is virtual machine 2. This is virtual machine 3. This is virtual machine 4. So can you tell me what is the difference between a physical machine? So can you tell me what is meant by a VM? What is a virtual machine means? What is meant by a virtual machine? What is virtual machine? What is VM, sir? We are at next week is the last day for us, and you're telling what is VM, you don't know. Maybe you have to write some exams in between. If you pass only, you are eligible to come to the next class. I should do something like that. What is VM? Huh? Not physical server. Is it a physical server? Virtual machine means. Again, I'm telling you, virtual machine means what? What did I explain you? What is meant by virtual machine? Virtual machine means virtually it exists, not physically exist. Virtual reality games in the physical, inside a physical system, you will install VMware software, and then you will create virtual machine 1, 2, 3, 4. And what is this virtual machine contains? This virtual machine created with the help of what is that? Image. In AWS we call it as what is that? In
VMware.
normally we call it as what is that?
Yes.
You will create. So what is a virtual machine? Virtual machine virtually exists, but keep it in your mind at any cost. What do you have? Operating system plus others. Maybe it may be an application server. You will go for operating system. Then it may have what is that? Database server. All these things are virtual machines. You can go and create it. In AWS world, we call this one as what is that? EC2 instance. Now everything seems to be very good. Then why the technology moved from EC2 instance to something called as why? What is this? Container. What is the reason, sir? What is the reason which we are learning now? What is the reason now? Something moved away from EC2 instance to container. What is the reason? Keep it in your mind. The most important thing would be what is this? What is this? OS. Now, can you tell me In operating system, what is there in the operating system? Windows Server 2022. What is there in this operating system? In this, see, you created this server number 1, right? Why did you create it? You created this because in this one, what do you want to install? SAP software is installed. Yes or no? Very good. So SAP software should be there. Then you need to go for what is that? You need operating system. Okay, fine. SAP is working. Can you tell me in this operating system, what do you have? In this operating system, you have something called as, what is that? What is that? Audio drivers. In this one, you have something called as, what is that? Video drivers. In this one, you have something called as GUI components. Your laptop can read, okay, bar scanners. So scanning related, okay, files are there. In this one, application related components are running. Okay, in this one, what are there? Okay, you remember, right? You have something devices to go for it. Yes or no? Now, if you see in this operating system supports audio, video, GUI, scan, application components, printer, fax machine, thumb kind of a thing. Next, anyone? It will support video games. Yes or no? More. Tell me more. Operating system. Operating system monitor. Yes or no? Monitor related resolution changing buttons and everything is supported, right? You have so many components are loaded. So in this operating system, what is loaded? So many things are loaded. Can you tell me for SAP application, you require video drives, audio drives, okay, you need video games. So SAP application in the background is running. Just install an application. Outside people are running. You don't require this one. 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 Only what you require is what is that? Application related component. Don't note this one, note this one, note this one, note this one, note this one. But in this operating system, all are getting loaded. Yes or no? Yes or no? All these things are loaded. That is the reason why. So let us go. What is that? That is the reason why. If you see, again I am writing, this is my big physical system. I install operating system. Then I install Virtual software. I created here Virtual machine 1. Yes or no? In this one, what is there? Operating system. And what did you install here? SAP. That is the reason you have come up and say this server require how much GB of RAM? How much? 16 GB of RAM. Sir, why do you require 16 GB of RAM? This operating system is loading all the, what is that? It is loading what? All the components. So video driver, audio driver, GUI, that, these and everything, at least it requires minimum of 4 GB RAM to load all these things. That is the reason if you reboot the system, it is taking how much time? 3 minutes to start, because when you reboot, audio drives are loading, video drives are loading, GUBs, the bootstrapping process. After 3 minutes, it will come up and say, welcome to Windows operating system, because it has to load so many things so that it operating system supports everything. 3 minutes taking. That is the reason I don't want all this nonsense. I can go for a new technology that is called as, what is that? What is that? What is that? Container. Sir, what is this container? Nothing, sir. Same to same. Now I will go and install same physical server. Same physical server. I will install, what is that? Operating system. Now I will install a container engine. Like in the olden days, people used to go and install, what is that? Now it's old technology. Even I will not explain you. I'll explain you images, Docker images and everything, but I will not explain you Docker, Swan and all this thing. Those things are gone. Everyone in the world are moving towards Kubernetes only. So you go for basically Docker software. You will install operating system. Now you will go and create a, what is that here? Instead of what is this one? VM. I am creating what is that now? Container. Sir, here you call here as virtual machine. Here you call it as a container. What is the difference? This container has, sir, can you tell me if I want to run this particular, if I want to run, if I want to run, if I want to run SAP in this one, what is required? Application components, right? In this container, that application components will be there, plus your SAP application is there, right? That's it. Nothing is there. Nothing is there. So in this container, you will not have full-fledged operating system. No operating system in this container. Now you will have a question, sir, how can a container run without any operating system? Any application in the world has to run an operating system. This container will take this help. What is that? Virtual machine. If SAP wants to run, it will take this help. Is it clear? Because this SAP and it requires full-fledged operating system. Whereas a container, you are going to install only the required component to run this application component, SAP application. And if this one wants to run, it will take help of this one. So can you tell me what is the size of this one? What is the size of this virtual machine? Do you find the advantages? If you see here in a normal world, you go and check it out. This server is, what is the size of this system? 30 GB will be the C drive, because it has full operating system and everything, and you require a minimum of, actually, if you want to make sure it is working properly, you need at least how much? 8 GB RAM. Yes or no? Now if you go back and see, this is not having any operating system. This size is how much, sir? And this one you clearly come up and say, so to run it you require, what is that? How much RAM? 128 MB of RAM. And basically what is that? 300 size is your container size. You don't have any operating system, you don't worry about anything, your life will go like this. Is it clear?
Uh,
are,
yeah,
are
still
you
it requires
able to
operating
understand?
system, right?
Yes sir, what is that?
Still it will take operating system from the main thing, and will it also, it has to be loaded in the RAM, right? While running the
Everything,
container.
every container is actually occupying some memory in RAM. Good,
Okay.
good sir, you're correct, you're correct. So if container is running, it occupies some memory in RAM. Correct, absolutely.
Okay.
So what happens here, as an example, if you go back and see what happens here now, what you can do as an example, the beauty of this one is, what is this one? One container is very white lead. Can you tell me what is there in the container? What components are there? All the components are only certain components. Only certain component. Now tell
Yeah.
me, if I want to create a container, will it take 3 minutes or how much time?
It will
How
take
much
less
time?
than 3.
1 second or less than 1 second. I want one container to be created. Click on one button, the container gets created. And welcome. Welcome. What is Lambda function? Lambda function, every 5 minutes it will create it, and it is using for 10 seconds. I'll get 10 seconds bill. Lambda function is a container in the backend. Is it clear? Lambda function is a container. You go and create a container. You go and create a Lambda function. This is the RAM I needed. This is my code, and you click on OK. AWS is creating a Python container with your code and keep it ready. Now you come up and say, I want my container to be executed. Basically, you go and click on it. So container is creating in 1 second, 0.5 seconds, 0.4 seconds, because it don't require full-fledged. It will go and create it, run your code and kill itself. So your Lambda function is a container. That is the reason there was a time when I want to talk about it, I did not talk about it. See here.
Yeah,
How do
one
you
of
know?
the
You may
source
come up
is
and ask me,
container.
how do you know Lambda function is a container? When I try to see what is this? So it is
Container.
asking, let's go and create from the scratch. You can use some AWS examples, but actually what is Lambda function is actually, it is a container only. You can launch it, select a container image to deploy your function. That is also, you can see, this is the beauty. When you go and click on it, it will ask you the basic question, where is your container URI? Very, very beautifully. We'll talk about this one. Lambda function is also a container. Keep it in your mind. That is what I would like to say. Hope you understood what's the difference between a virtual machine and a container. Anyone has any questions? Is it clear, online people?
Yeah.
Is it clear, guys? Very, very important. This question will be at any cost, gunshot question for 0 years to 3-4 years of experience who are keeping AWS or cloud engineer, any cloud, AWS, Azure, GCP. What is a container? What is meant by a VM? What's the difference? Which one is faster? Which one is secure? All these things they'll ask you. Hope you are going in that direction only. You understood. Don't be in a situation. I'm very, very sad to see this batch. Very few people are participating, no practice at all, coming here for doing a time pass. Don't be in that state, sir, please. Okay, don't be in that stage. As an example, things are going well as expected. As expected, recession will go after 2024. Maybe it is going after next 6 months only. You can see lot of things, good things are happening. Like if you see here, right, which indicates, if you see here, if you see here as an example, if you see from past, if you see the trend, this is the where the people firing and everything. Now from 131, what is the 131 in January 20? Now in 1 month, how much increase? 172. That means there is a positive in market. So it will grow, and then don't come up and say, now I will try it. You will be too late. This is not only Microsoft route. I work in Microsoft. No, just take an example of anything. See here, let's go for 1 month back. Where is that? 315. Now where is it? 359, 360 rupees in 1 month. The positive, I hope it is going. Not only on that one, I'm just looking for, let's take an example, Amazon. If you see here, right, Amazon 1 month back ago, what happened? So if you see here, right, 93, it went up to, what is that? 112. Now it is 99. There is a small growth which is happening right now. So this will lead to people will get more and more confidence, especially the investors will get more confidence. Then the investor will not go and provide 1 lakh, 2 lakh. They will go and invest in $500 million, $1 billion. Those things investors, they will invest. Then the positive market will go. Then the openings will come into picture. Then don't think about Amma. Now the marketing happening. Now you go for it. No, you prepare and keep it ready. That is what is proactiveness is required, sir. For that one, you need a lot of practice to do it. So please take it seriously. Hope you understood what is a container. How do you create it? Okay. So what is happening in the entire world right now? So what happens as an example? So it's like this one, sir. People go and create one big physical server. They are installing operating system. They will installing container runtime. Then they are creating, what is that right now? What they are creating? All are what? Containers.
Applications.
Containers, yes, sir. Application which is deployed in a container. What is the beauty? Suddenly this container is not working. What do? You create another one, tuck, in how many seconds? 1 second. It's not like your EC2 instance taking 3 minutes launching and everything. 1 second. Anytime you find it out, this is very, very important. Can I move it to, where is that? This server I created, where is that? Can I move it into US? Why? What is the size of the container? Max, how much? Is it easy to move? Whereas if I go and create one virtual machine here, this one is how much size? Easy to move or tough to move?
Tough to
Tough to move. Whereas a container, what is that? 500 MB, you can write a program, move the data every half an hour, every 1 hour also, because it's very lightweight. So you get all those kind of advantage when you go into containers. Is it clear? Anyone has any questions? Okay, I would like to go and talk about how EC2 instance is there. How do you launch it? Same to same container is also launched. Can you tell me? Now you tell me. If I want to go and create one EC2 instance, you create this EC2 instance with the help of, what do you take help? Huh? Good.
AMA.
AMI. AMI is, what is that? Image, right? AMI. And top of this one, you will go and provide what is the RAM size, storage. Okay, yes or no? Yes or no? Exactly same to same. You have something for, what is that? Container. If you want to create one, what is that? Container. You also require something, that is, yes, one of the company where you can keep it is, so, sir, where did you keep your images? AMIs in AWS AMIs. Same thing, container, actually, what is the history of a container? Container is created by two Linux engineer, then slowly contributed lot of, in 1995 only it started. Contribution happened. IBM contributed little bit and everything, but good part of contribution is done by Google company. Google company has provided. Then Google developed this kind of a thing and made it open source. Everyone in the world can use it. That is Kubernetes. So what is that one? Now container is there. Docker image. Docker company will come up and say, I can give you images. You can launch containers. Okay. And there are other third party companies also, because it is open source. Anyone in the world can develop it. Container images, you can launch it. Now think about it. Think, let's see like this one. I'll tell you very true reality. Arey yaar, I always remember this. Forget this company. Okay. So give me 1 minute. So which is that company? My favorite company, man.
Sun.
What is that?
Sun.
I'll tell you what happened to that company. Come on, man. I don't remember the names. Yeah, sorry. Siebel. Have you heard about Siebel?
Yes.
Okay. I'll tell you. Fresh sales. There was another company. Okay. Siebel is one company. So what happened? One company with very famous, very good CRM application in
Is it
2009,
PeopleSoft?
10.
Is it
Pardon? Yeah, yeah.
PeopleSoft? PeopleSoft?
Yes, absolutely correct. Sorry. Thank you, sir. PeopleSoft. Superb. Thank you. I forgot. Okay. PeopleSoft. Yes. PeopleSoft is bought by Oracle. So what I'll tell you, very good application, sir. Everyone in the world, everyone wants to get a job. PeopleSoft was there. So the competitor for PeopleSoft is Oracle also. So what they do, Oracle bought PeopleSoft and killed PeopleSoft. That is the general strategy people will use it. Like Microsoft. Microsoft bought what? Skype. What they have done? Killed Skype. Now everyone in the world are using what? Microsoft Teams. What is inside Microsoft Teams? Skype only, actually. What they will do to kill the competition? What they will do? They will buy the product and kill it. Same thing can happen, right? Docker company came up and say, Docker is the first company came up and say, I'm Docker company, Docker engine, I am Docker and everything. So AWS, Azure, GCP, everyone started using Docker, Docker, everyone using. Suddenly Google company simply buys Docker company and come up and say, from now onwards, I will not provide any support to anyone who using Docker. So what will happen to AWS and Azure? AWS and Azure will now become, and sir, please don't do, they will become like this one. That's a strategy decision. So any product based company in the world, they will never believe other products. That is the reason, if you ask me, I use all the tools which are internal to Microsoft. Nothing. I use Custo database. No one in the world knows. I'm using Jarvis. No one in the world will know it. Why? Microsoft will come up and say, if I believe in Google, tomorrow Google will not support, my product will block. Is it clear, right? Same thing, Docker is available to the world. Right now, Docker says, hey, Docker, anyone use? AWS uses Docker, Azure uses Docker and everything. Suddenly, Google purchased the Docker or Salesforce purchased Docker and he'll say like, now onwards, this product is main. I will not support Docker in anyone, only except Salesforce, basically cloud or Google cloud. What will happen to AWS and Azure? Right? Strategy. That is the reason why. Why did I written this diagram? That is the reason why AWS will come up and say, there is no need to store it in Docker. There is an AWS service called as ECR, Elastic Container Registry, where you can keep your images in AWS. No need to keep it in Docker. Tomorrow, Docker company closes. AWS also keeping the data in Docker. Now Docker company closes. What will happen? So that is the reason AWS will come up and say, no need to worry. ECR, Elastic Container Registry is there, where you can keep all the, what is that? Container images. CentOS image, like you have IAME, right? Like that one, you can keep it. So these are the source. So where are the container images stored? Docker images stored in where? Where is this Docker images? Where it is stored? This is one place. Docker images are stored, very famous in, what is that? Docker Hub. Second one is, what is that? Elastic. This is which one? AWS one. This is which one?
Docker.
Anyone in the world can use it. Docker Hub. Like if you type it here, right? All the images are kept here. All it. Dikshit wants CentOS. Sir, I need CentOS. Go and type CentOS. How many people downloaded? 1 billion people. Okay. What do you need to do? So clearly it will go and provide you what is this. Is it clear, right? It will clearly come up and say CentOS images. Sir, I need Windows image. For your example, you go and click on it, you'll get some Windows. No, sir, I need basically, I need Ubuntu, or basically I need Apache software, HTTPD. You go and click on it, HTTP, 1 billion people download, Docker pull. We'll talk about the commands, but all the images are there. This is one place you can keep the image. There is another place. What is that? What is that?
ECR.
Fully managed. What is that? Docker community registries. What is that? You can keep all the Docker images in AWS also. Okay, in Azure, ACR, Azure Container Registry. Concept is same to same. So try to understand. Don't come up and specify. Don't be a kid and come up and say, sir, what's the difference between AWS and Azure? All are same. Now I want to work on container. You go and click on, what is this one? What is this? What is this? Is it clear, right? Concept of AWS and Azure are everything is same to same. There is no need to worry. So that is there. Hope you understood theoretically what is full-fledged container. Container is not having full-fledged operating system. Only the required components, what do you want? Those things are added. Very, very, very less loaded. Very less RAM is required. So what is the reason when you create a system, The system gets created in one shot, tuck, it will go and create it. Sir, why the system is created in one shot? Because it is not loading the entire operating system. It can be loaded in 1 second. Is it clear, right? Online people, clear, sir? End to end, what is a virtual machine? What is a container?
Yes.
Any questions anyone has? I explained it very clearly. Most of the people don't explain it this much. Okay. I'm telling you, right? I'm explaining very neatly. A lot of people come up and say, what is a container? They will write a diagram and say, container is not having OS. Then you come up and say, why the OS is not there? It is not like that one. So a lot of people provide a wrong information about this one. It has OS components of what is that? Application related or anything. Tomorrow you are going for a video game. You will have a video game related OS components in that container, so that it has that dependency. Clear? Hope you understood what is a container. Now, sir, what should I do to create a container? What do you do? Sir, for your practice level, for your entire things, what you need to do, the first thing what you need to do, this is old one. This is important for practicing. Okay. So what do you do in your laptop? Or I suggest you to go for what is that? Your EC2 instance, either in your laptop or in your EC2 instance. Make sure what is there. Linux operating system is there. Linux is installed. Okay, Linux operating system is there. Someone will come up and specify, I don't have Linux. It's okay if you have Windows operating system also. You have Windows desktop where you can install it, but each and every container is very heavy. Windows containers are right now also, right now I want Windows container 1.5 GB. Minimum 1.5 GB Windows container. Linux container, the smallest Linux container is 56 MB. Are you able to understand the difference between Windows and Linux? So those things are there. I suggest you to go for what is that? Linux operating system. Sir, now I want to create one container. I want to create an image. I would require you, for now, please go and install Docker. Install Docker. It is a single one-liner. Yum install Docker -1. You go and install it in Linux system. Docker will be installed in one shot. This is for practicing purpose. Okay, Docker, you install it. Docker, you install it. Now you come up and specify, sir, where is the documentation? What should I do and everything? All the documentation. I am one of the most busiest person, sir. Believe me, I'm not coming and saying I'm Satya Nadella or Elon Musk, but I'm pretty busy. My father is paralyzed. My mother is not feeling well from 40 years. I have to take care of my parents. I have to come in the morning. I have to go to my office, and in the night I have again trainings, and then Saturday here, Sunday demo, and taking care of two kids. So it's very tough for me. Okay, example, yesterday my mother is in hospital, so she's not well from 40 years, as an example. Just take for your information. So it's very tough for me. I take a sleep of 5.5 hours a day. That's the reason I get so irritated. Someday I'll call to Kelly and say, like, sir, today no class, sir, please, no sleep for me. So on with that busyness, for you people only, I created basically documentation. Please give some value for the documentation. With very, even I had like 1 hour of time. Even I was traveling from one place to another. Even that bus I opened and made a documentation for you, the timeline. Okay, so you go back and see where are all the documentations are there. Let's see, where is that? I don't know where did I kept it. If you go back and see, sir, see here, sir, what is this? This is, what is that? Kubernetes. We have not yet started any Kubernetes. I'll talk about Kubernetes. Now this is basically, what is that? Linux one. This is Linux PDF. This is Linux commands. This is my own book which I've written in 2013. I screenshots and everything, very credible book. I read some 8 to 9 Linux books completely and created my own book for publishing. I don't have knowledge right now Linux because I joined 7 years back Microsoft. That is the reason, because I was pro in Linux. I can do anything in the world in Linux. I used to hack in, I used to work on Kali Linux. That grip is completely lost once I moved to Microsoft, but I can come back. With that one only, I provided lot of shell scripting, all these things, real-time shell scripting. I provided for you, not for fun. I created for you. Please read it, sir. Read this book. Read this book. Sir, I'm a very lazy person like you, sir. What should I do? You go and click on this one. I provided like what is a Linux operating system? What is the difference between what is a kernel? Who is the owner of this? My boss, my hero, my life hero. What is this guy? Basically, first version when it came, Linux operating system is all about open source. What is meant by distribution? Distribution means Linux kernel is application. What are the where do you go and see all the Linux operating system? Linux, CentOS, Ubuntu, and everything, right? You can go and click on it. You will get some 200 Linux flavors. Okay, what are the very famous one? Red Hat, Ubuntu are very famous. But what are those things? License based. But what is free? CentOS, Fedora, Ubuntu, all these things are free. What is PuTTY? To connect to Linux operating system. So that is clients. Very simple. I made it one liner so that now you go and specify any good documentation Linux training URL. What is the difference between bash and shell scripting? What is the difference between user and a root? Folder structure of a Linux operating system. All I sat, I opened one text box. I was traveling from my office to my home to office one day. I opened a laptop, started writing everything, tuck, 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 tuck. No time for me, but I have written it. See, sir. Then let us take an example. What is the first line start with when it is a batch scripting? What is the command called as man? What is the date? Who I am? Host name, ping, config, pwd, cd, ls, all the Linux commands, basic commands. What do you do? All these things I added it. This thing is like passing 10th class. These are the things, if you don't know, you're out in AWS or cloud world. You don't get qualified. You need to know all those kind of things. Then if you are becoming very good, then you started going into what is that, then go into what is that, shell scripting, Linux, all these things. Is it clear? All these things are provided for Kubernetes. Where is that, man? I don't know. Where do I fold? Where is that? See here, very neatly. This is DevOps, AWS certificate, Linux official, others. I kept it where? So I see here. What is this? What is this? Is it clear, right? Installation of a Docker, all these things I provided it. You can open any kind of a thing. You click on it. You can download the material, sir. I think I have already have the material, but if you can see, how do you install a Docker in Windows? Is it clear, right? How do you install Docker in Windows? But let me go back and see. 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, 2 years, 2 years, 2 years, 6 months, 4 months, 2 months back. This one. See here. Kubernetes all commands. Let's see. What is a Kubernetes? Okay. I am not interested in this right now. I'm not interested in this one. I am interested in, give me 1 minute. I'm little lazy, sir, but I will not leave anything. I'll keep everything, whatever I learn it, but where did I kept it? Okay, where is that time? 2 years, 2 years, 2 years, 2 years, 4 months, 2 months back. Pod, Kubernetes, all commands, Kubernetes information. Okay, you can use this one, sir. Okay, you can use this one or you can use this one. Any command to install Docker. So let's see. Let me download this one. Both are same, sir, but I added some more stuff. I recommend you don't go for Windows. This is personal recommendation. Don't go for Windows. The reason is Kubernetes, 99% of the entire world is in Linux only, Kubernetes. So is it downloadable? That is fine. See here, this is for Windows. If you want to go for okay, Linux, these are all Windows containers. How do you switch it and all these things I provided. But I also went for Hare Rama. What is that name, sir? What is this name? Kumar, right? I don't know where is this files I download, man. Here. Yeah. Let's see others. Oh man, no, this is very old one. Give me 1 minute, sir. Let me. All these things are deleted. Waste. Give me 1 minute. Or else I'm very intelligent to keep it here. Yes. Yeah. All these things are there. This one. How do you install a Docker or everything? I will go through those things practically opening the command and I'll go, sir. Don't need to worry. I'll give you everything. But I would recommend you, where do you learn from? Where do you learn? All these things you can learn it by my recommendation would be, okay. How do you install in Linux? Create a Linux CentOS server or anything or Amazon image. Select it. Only one command. Yum install docker -y. You go and install -y. Yes, Docker will install. That's it. You don't require anything. Docker will install. So the Docker installation will be there. Okay, Docker will go and install. And everything is command line. Everything is command line. Don't feel like where from Windows I'm coming into command line. What is this one? Believe me, very very important command line. I'll go through each and every command. I will run each and every command and I'll show you. Is it clear? Anyone has any questions on this one? So you go back and see Linux operating system. Basically install. What is that one? Now how do I know whether the Docker is running or not? Let us go and start one Linux system, sir. I'll run it, I'll create it, I'll copy and I'll do it. Maybe give me 1 week of time. I will create videos also in YouTube. I should get some time this week. EC2. So this is a server which I created, sir, which we will do practice. Okay, let us go and create it. I'll show you one by one how do you do it. Okay, I request you, all the data whatever you require in the world, everything is present here, right? You feel, sir, I need something, please ask me. I'm here to go for it. But until you don't know, sir, this command, this documentation is there, I'll not go for it, I'll go take it next time and everything, I can't help you out. It's going to, Docker is an open source. Every 1 year, the way of installation configuration will change. In 2013-14, when I installed Docker, configure it, it took 10 days for me to install properly Docker. I think 7 or 8 times first time I failed in installation of Docker. Very complex. Docker, Kubernetes, very complex. Now the things are little easy. All these things are taken care, so you have it. And what we will be learning, we will also learn in this way. What is this? What is that? Elastic Kubernetes service. How do you go and launch a Kubernetes Docker images that is in AWS? We will go into that area also. Wait for it. All these things for the next week total. Today is Wednesday, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday 2 hours, 4 hours, Monday. Okay. And let me think. I would like to involve this time Sunday also. Sunday also I'll make you 2 hours, 8 o'clock to 9:30. We will go for it so that I can neatly complete Route 53, VPC peering, everything gets completed and I'll put a full stop. Clear? Okay, so let's log into this system and run some commands, basic commands. Launching a Docker image, what is that? All these things will go for it, sir. Okay, so go to the Excel, connecting to the Linux operating system, sir. So let me go and right click on properties. The IP address got changed. Oh, perfectly connected. Okay, now you need to understand the Linux operating system. What is the meaning of this dollar? User. You want to go it as a root, then you will go for all this Linux sudo. Then now dollar is changed into basically clear all our commands. Now if I want to install Docker, what do? It's already there, but as an example, it will come up and say, sir, this is the Docker basically. See, Docker is already there. That is the reason it is saying, what is this? What is this? It was
Upgrade
having
page.
older version. It is saying updating as an example. I don't want to install. It is already there. Generally, what do? You go and click on what is that? Y and enter. Docker will be installed. Is it clear, right? Is it clear? Anyone? I went and installed Docker. How do I know the Docker is working fine or not? How the services are there? Then follow this documentation, sir. Follow this documentation. Now you go back and see where is my documentation, sir. If you see here, right? Then if I want to find out what is the status of my daughter, status Docker service, you have lot of commands. You can go and click on service. What is that status? Is it running? Yes or no? So the Docker is running. Sir, I want to know what is this one. You want to find out whether the Docker service is started or not. So you have something called as SYS system. Okay, CTL. What is the name? Is it see Docker? If it is not running, I want to run it. Then you go and specify system basically start Docker. I would like to go and check it out. Let's see. Status of a Docker. Is it running? See, started. What is that? What is this one says? Dot. It's already running. So these are the 1, 2, 3 commands to go and check it out. Sir, Docker, I run it and Docker is not yet started. What should I do? Then specify C system CTL start Docker. Can anyone tell me? Online people, offline people. What's the difference between these two? What is the difference between start and enable Docker? Please go through the Linux. That's what I say you. What is that? What is that? Sir, start means Docker will start right now. There is a Docker service, Docker will start working fine. When I reboot, again Docker will be not working. So what I'm doing, enable Docker in bootstrapping. When you enable, next time onwards, when I start the server, Docker will be running and it is kept ready. That is called as enable. Keep it in your mind. Bootstrapping process enable. You have Docker status. See, sir, Docker status. When I go for it, Docker start. If you want to start the Docker, all these things. Now the question here is, sir, let's go and understand in a diagrammatical format. How do you learn it, sir? So this is my Linux system. Yes or no? Did you install operating system in Linux? Yes. On top of this one, I installed what is that? Now I want to create what is this one? To create container one, what do I require? Yeah, I need what is that? And where is the image, sir? Okay, so that is what you can go for it. Now you can what is that? Pull the images from where? Docker. I want to pull what is the image I want to pull? Apache. Not he will come up and say no, no, CentOS. He will come up and say no. Go and type it in Docker Hub. What are the images? For your example, I need CentOS. I need Apache or anything you want it, right? As I mentioned you go and type it here. And what is the command to go and pull it? They are only providing. If you want Docker pull, HTTPD is Apache. Okay, not Apache, sir. I want something else. You are the keep it in your mind. So you can okay. What is that? Docker space. What I want to do? What is pull command? Not install. Pull the image. Pull the image and kept it in my local system. And what is the image name? HTTPD. Enter it. So see what happened right now. It's done. It has installed. So pulling the library slash HTTP, pulling the image, pulling the image, pulling the image, pulling the image. It has downloaded new image. How it, can you tell me all the basics what I provided you? If you are would be connected, you would understood how it has identified it is basically the new image. The new image in this system, it was already having old image. Why it is saying new image? It has done MD5 checksum. What is MD5 checksum? One file, another file to go and validate it. Image from HTTP. What is this one? MD5 checksum number. Is it clear? Any file in the world, one file and another file, how do you find the difference? Using checksum. This file and this one are in same. Let's take an example. Is it downloaded? Now you see how the world will change. Now what I'm doing? Again doing it, see here, sir. What is that? Why? It has checked on what is the MD5 checksum value. Where what is that MD5 checksum value? Both are same. What it has said? Docker, you are having the latest images. Try to understand the technology. No one will explain you MD5 checksum technology. Any cloud anywhere in the world. I explain you because all are correlated to each other. Keep it in your mind. Online people, hope it is clear. Clear, sir? Anyone has any questions? I downloaded the image and my image is there in my laptop. How do I know what image is there? So there is another command. You downloaded it. Very good. It downloaded. Now I want to see my image. The what is the command? Docker images. Now you go and click on see Docker images. It will clearly come up and say you have Nginx HTTP, which was basically how many days back? 4 months back there was one image. But what was HTTP? Another image, which came. What is that? 5 months back ago. And see the difference of one container size when you compare with VM. What is the size of a container? What is the size of an image? 145 MB. Got it? Is it clear? How do you list it? So all our command
Yes.
line, one command is what is that? Which will pull the image and it will store it in local system. One is what is that? I want to show the images which are present in my local system. Go and click on Docker. Next, what should I do? This image has to convert into this image container. How do you do this one? Let us go for that one tomorrow. Is it clear, guys? Now you want to create one container from that local image. Docker run, and we'll talk about then the Apache contains application, right? What's the port number? We'll talk about that one tomorrow. Is it clear, guys? Online people, is it clear, sir?
Yeah.
Is it clear? Anyone has any questions? Online people, fine. Please create it
Yes, sir.
ready.
Fine.
Please create it, and you can do in front of me also. Online people, especially classroom people, if you can bring your laptop, that is fine. Just when I go and provide a command, just copy this one, and the documentation is already present in kumar.com. Just type it and check it out. It is working, not working, and everything. You can do it in front of me also. And you created a Linux system. For creating a Docker, you don't get any additional big. Whatever the Linux system you created, that's it. So very easy to launch. Check it out, sir. And you've seen, right? What is the RAM of the containers require? 128. You will see one, you will get shocked to see one image is 52 MB. Is it clear, right? Very lightweight control. Let us continue this one tomorrow. You need to know? Means I don't recommend you right now. Go for create one server, virtual machine, anything, and do those things there. Even no need to go for EC2 instance. You come up and say, sir, in my things, I installed VMware basically from outside, and go for it. No need to worry about anything. But only that server should have internet. Apart from that, that is go for it. Go through lot of command line, become expert in command line, then go for other things. Because your interview questions will be on commands only. Very, very important. Let me go next 4 days on this one only. Very, very, very important. Command, installation, configuration, everything. I will not go for the old technology. What is meant by Docker Swan? What is meant by all these things? I'll go and explain you container images neatly. Then I will jump into Kubernetes. Clear? Okay, guys. Thank you. Bye.